Today, let me tell you about the story of Mother Ripley. No, not that one. This one. On the 1st of July 2008, she was foretold a prophecy that she would have to give birth to 92 children. Although, there was a twist. In these 92 children, there would be an undeniable footballing ability that each of these 92 kids, bar one, would go on to be one of the best footballers in the world. And that's exactly what has happened. 16 years later, they have all joined a professional club. And it just so happens to be each of the 92 clubs in England. They have all joined one each. From right at the top of the Premier League to the bottom of League Two, each one has a Ripley twin. So, let's go into the future and see what happens to the family that took over football. But before we get into the video today, make sure to subscribe for all the content coming soon, as usual. Make sure to like the video and leave a comment for what videos you want to see in the future. Let's get back to the video. So, here we are. Here are all of the Ripley twins. We have one for every single club in the English leagues. But with every family, there's always one bad egg. And if we just want to look at a certain club in the West Midlands, Wolves, because in their under-18 squad there is a striker at the bottom known as Dingle Ripley, and he is absolutely terrible. He's just had to be brought along with the rest of the brothers. So let's see where this guy ends up, because to be honest, with this face, I don't think he's going very far, and with these stats, yeah, he's not going to do very well. But I have high hopes for the rest of them. Let's go a few years into the future and see where they all are. It is the day after all of their 18th birthday, and we are already seeing some movements. So the highest value player out of the lot is Middlesbrough Ripley, who is now at Arsenal, and they also have their own Ripley twin. While Man U Ripley's still there, Lincoln Ripley has also gone to United with Burton Ripley. Brighton keep hold of theirs, but Wimbledon Ripley, Accrington Stanley Ripley, both move into the Premier League. Even Reading Ripley, Steve Ripley is obviously from Stevenage, but we are already seeing some movements. Let's go straight into the Premier League to see if any of the 18-year-olds are starting to dominate the stats. Obviously, this season's just gone, so we can't really see anything, but none of them won a Player of the Year. That award goes to Salah. But would any of them win a Young Player of the Year? No, that goes to Lewis Miley. So obviously, most of them are still only 18. We can't really expect much from any of them. If we have a look in League 2, this is where I would have thought that they maybe could have dominated a bit more. Swindon Ripley, at 16 years of age, won League 2 Player of the Year. So he must have had a good season. As for Young Player of the Year, that's for some reason not an award. Okay, how many of them got into the Team of the Year? Wrexham Ripley and Walsall Ripley, the two strikers up front. Oh, I should have mentioned they're all strikers with the exact same identical stats. If you look at Walsall Ripley, he's got the exact same stats as Wrexham Ripley has. So, and they've all got the same potential, the same current ability as well. Oh, Wrexham Ripley's currently underbid from Sunderland for £700,000. So let's go a few more years ahead and see, hopefully, these players are going to start dominating the Ballon d'Or, Young Player of the Year, stuff like that. So yeah, let's go ahead. It's the day after their 21st birthday, and some of the players have now started to go abroad. Barcelona have picked up Sheffield United's Ripley twin. We've got Derby Ripley at Villa. We've got another Notts County's Ripley twin has gone to Barcelona as well. So Barcelona have picked up two, but AC Milan have picked up Cambridge Ripley. We've got Real Madrid picking up Luton Ripley. Ipswich Ripley's gone to Arsenal. Arsenal have got a fair few of them now. They've got, how many Ripley twins have they got? So, Jesus Christ, Arsenal have got 6 of them. So, Arsenal are sort of stock hoarding these strikers. And Arsenal Ripley, so they've started their own, and then they've just picked up loads more and just don't seem to be playing any of them at all. Arteta's still in charge there. So, have they won a Ballon d'Or yet? By the time they are 21, no, Saka, Mbappe, and then Bernardo Silva. Any of them even get in the top 3? No. Maybe Young Player of the Year, which would be called, what would Young, Golf? No, Next Gen. Arsenal Ripley won the next gen with Baggies Ripley from West Brom. He's now at Bayern Munich, and Sunderland Ripley. So they're already starting to take over the next gen award. Burton Ripley won it the year before with Arsenal Ripley and Colchester Ripley in the top three. And then Endrick won it with Burnley Ripley and Iron Ripley, which is West Ham's. They got the top three, but none of them in the most recent one. So let's go a bit further forward when they're going to start pushing into the first team, because they're going to be, I think we're going to go 3 years ahead to when they're 24. So hopefully more of them start dominating some of the awards, and we'll see the top goal scorers in the Premier League are all them, because they're all strikers, and I hope that they all get a combined 50,000 goals. So let's go to 2032. We've actually gone to 2033. Now most of them are 25, and Spurs Ripley is the highest valued currently, and he's still at Tottenham. Luton Ripley is up there as well with Notts County Ripley. Baggies Ripley has moved from Bayern Munich to Real Madrid. How much did he sell for? He started at West Brom. West Brom only got a measly 1.4 million for him, and he's having a great career so far, hitting great goals. But he left Bayern Munich on a free. Spurs Ripley's still there. Luton Ripley is obviously at Real Madrid. Did Luton manage to get a good fee? 13 million. He's only really started to crack the first team in the recent years. Obviously, they have got Baggies Ripley as well, fighting for a place. Aston Ripley's still there. He's got 121 goals. Barnsley Ripley, Walsall Ripley. Obviously, we saw he got into the League Two Team of the Year a few years ago. He's now at Liverpool. Did go to Fulham, but Liverpool have got hands on him now. Doncaster Ripley's been transfer listed for 46 million. Terrier Ripley, which is Huddersfield. Wickham, 32 million. MK Dons Ripley's at West Ham. Stevenage Ripley's still at Villa, and he's got 94 goals. PSG have got Wrexham Ripley. He was in the League 2 Player of the Year. He got 79 goals for both Leeds and PSG. And he went for 51 million to PSG from Leeds. So, Valencia got Millwall Ripley, and he's Irish. I thought that I did go through and make sure they were all English, but one must have slipped through the cracks, and he hasn't really gone for much. His career value is about 2.5 million for Millwall Ripley. Scouse Ripley is still at Liverpool, but he's wanting to leave. He's got only 19 goals in 96 games, so he's been a bit disappointing. But let's check the Ballon d'Or, because they are 25 now. They are heading into the latter stages of their career now and trying to get into their prime. So the Ballon d'Or, none of them have won it. Mbappe, Musiala, Mbappe again, Saka, Mbappe. None of them in there. As for the next gen, I don't expect to see any of them in there because I think they're too old now. Let's have a look at the Premier League though. Hopefully some of them have maybe won Premier League Player of the Year. Tottenham won a title. Award winners. So none of them have won a Player of the Year. As for Young Player of the Year though, Plymouth Ripley won one, Man City's Ripley won one, Colchester Ripley won two with Tottenham, Arsenal Ripley won one, and then that was when we last checked with Lewis Miley winning it. Let's have a look at the Team of the Year. Hopefully we'll get some Ripleys in there. Yes, Spurs Ripley and Cheltenham Ripley, who's now at Middlesbrough, who was somehow in the Premier League. But they got hold of Cheltenham Ripley, who scored 24 goals. I'm assuming 24 goals will be the top goal scorer then. But yeah, now they are all 25. We're going to go now to when they're sort of entering their prime years, and hopefully one of them will win a Ballon d'Or, because that's what we need. We need a Ballon d'Or from one of these players, and they need to start dominating the awards. But they have been dominating Young Player of the Year in the Premier League for a few years, but now we need to start seeing them win the big awards. So let's go even further ahead and see how much this family of players, these 92 twins, can really take over football. Into 2038 now, it's now been 30 years since the 92 twins were born, and Man City Ripley, the highest valued right now, with Iron Ripley and MK Ripley up there as well. Swansea Ripley now at AC Milan. Baggies Ripley still there at Real Madrid. Only scored 75 goals though, so nothing crazy, but these stats, that is a phenomenal striker right there from West Brom. Gillingham Ripley is at Inter. We've got Sheffield United Ripley at Barcelona, Doncaster at Atletico. Some of the Spanish clubs then certainly loving a Ripley twin. But there is one man that I want to check the progress on, because we haven't checked so far. Where is Dingle Ripley? Because he doesn't exist. Where's he gone? Is he just retired before he was 30? I might have to go back on one of the other saves and just see like where he's gone, because we've lost one already before they've only just turned 30. Oh, we got Charlie Ripley here. Go to the shortlist. Oh, there's only 90, which means we've lost two. We've lost two Ripley brothers by the time they're 30. So maybe one of them had a really bad injury record. But Dingle Ripley, his career's already over. But we have still got 90 of them in there. So let's check the Ballon d'Or now. They're 30. They should have won a few by now. And Luton Ripley and Plymouth Ripley have won Ballon d'Ors. So we were in 2033, I think, last time we checked. So Plymouth Ripley and Man City Ripley got on there. Plymouth was in there again. And then Luton Ripley won one with Baggies Ripley getting in the top three. And then Plymouth Ripley again third. And then after all those second and third place, Plymouth Ripley finally won his Ballon d'Or for getting 30 goals with Arsenal at the age of 28. So, yeah, they're finally starting to win the Ballon d'Or. Let's have a look at the Premier League Team of the Year, because obviously most of them are still in England and probably playing in the Premier League. Let's just have a look. As for PFA Player of the Year, Plymouth Ripley has won it twice with Man City Ripley also in there. Exeter Ripley as well, getting in there. He's at Liverpool. Plymouth Ripley for Arsenal, looking the most successful out of all the twins so far, because he was in the Ballon d'Or race consistently most, and then he finally won one as well. So how's he done in his career for Arsenal? 154 goals in 334 games. There's some good seasons there. This must have been the year he won the Ballon d'Or, I think it was, when he got 23 goals in the league. But he only joined for 2.1 million, which is, very cheap for a future Ballon d'Or winner. But let's have a look at the Team of the Year then. Team of the Year. There it is. Palace, no. This guy's just got a weird name, but apparently he's one of the best strikers in the world. He's got 200. Look at these stats: 33 and 34, 31 and 35. Why is this guy holding back our Ripley twins? Although Saint Ripley scored 27 this season, with Man City Ripley, he's been adopted to left wing. So what I did do is I've made sure that none of them could play in any other position. So if the clubs wanted to train them somewhere else, they could. And Man City have retrained him to a left winger to a point. He's not even as comfortable playing up front anymore, even with his 18 finishing. So none of them. Let's go back a year then. So this Palace no guy, he's just doing well at Tottenham, and then that's Saints Ripley, isn't it? No, it's Spurs Ripley. Man City Ripley again at left wing. Plymouth Ripley, he's in there at right wing. So Arsenal have retrained Plymouth Ripley to a right winger. Oh, so this was the guy that's been doing the best. He's not even playing up front. He's playing out on the right. Then we've got the double S Ripleys, Saints and Spurs up top, with Plymouth Ripley again on the right. Man City Ripley not getting the left winger that year. And then we have Exeter Ripley with Spurs Ripley up front with his strike partner. Palace no. But yeah, some interesting things here. They are really starting to take over football. The Ballon d'Or race with Luton and Plymouth Ripley both getting one. Plymouth Ripley been up there a fair few years now until he finally won the most recent Ballon d'Or. They're starting to be consistently the dominant force up front as well in the Premier League Team of the Year, even getting retrained as wingers. We saw that Arsenal's Plymouth Ripley has been retrained and Man City's Ripley has been retrained to play on the right and the left respectively. So we're going to go 5 years ahead now to when they're 35 and it's coming towards the end of the career. We've still got 90 currently playing. I'm not sure which one has disappeared because it would take a long time to try and figure that out. But I know Dingle Ripley's disappeared. He's gone before he's even 30. I might go and check where he is. But we're going to go to when they're 35 and see where they are towards the end of their career. So, just to quickly interrupt, Wolves' Dingle Ripley, I had to go all the way back to when they were 18 to finally find this guy, because when they were 21 he was gone. So I assumed that they just never even offered him a professional contract and he just fell off the face of the earth and he was just no longer a footballer. He's gone to be a mechanic somewhere, maybe something a bit more style. Look at these stats. He's never going to be a player. So Between the years of 18 and 21, he just disappears from football because in the saves that I got where he's 21, he's just not in the game anymore. So they just released him when he turned 18 or 19 maybe, and he's just never played football again. So we have the fallen soldier Dingle Ripley. Like I said, there is always a bad egg in the family, and that is certainly this guy. He has not made it past the age of 18 in the footballing world, and he is now probably working at Burger King. So let's go back to the actual footballers and see where they are age 35. So we are at the end of their careers now, and you can certainly see that with the values tanking. We were seeing 400 million transfer value at one point, but now they're in the Saudi League. Some of them are, at least anyway. Some of them still managing to stay at these big clubs. Arsenal's Plymouth Ripley has stayed there majority of his career since he moved from Plymouth. But a lot of them are now in the Saudi League. El Etifaki getting Morecambe Ripley with I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. They've got Wrexham Ripley. Man U Ripley, though, has stayed at Man United his entire career. I'm going to sort them alphabetically to see how many actually stayed at the clubs that they was given. So Arsenal Ripley's still there. Aston's Ripley's still there. But we do see... Blackburn Ripley's not even got a club. But are there any more that actually stayed there for their entire career? It's not looking good. It's not looking good. At the minute, it's nobody. Also, some of them are actually still playing in the Championship, but I don't think any of them are still playing in either League One. Also, both the Manchester Ripleys did stay in Manchester with City and Man United, although Man City Ripley is wanted by the Saudi clubs. Other than that, we are struggling to see any more that actually stayed there for their entire career. Spurs Ripley, we've got another one. Spurs Ripley stayed at Spurs his entire career. 345 goals in 588 games. That is a club legend for Spurs there. Other than that, though, like I said, back to struggling to see if any more have. I think it's only four players stayed at the clubs that they were given. Arsenal's Ripley, Aston Villa's Ripley, both Manchester Ripleys, and Spurs Ripley. So five. 5 players out of 92 stayed. Also, the shortlist has dropped to 89, which means we've had another retirement from one of the Ripleys. I don't know who this Shrew No guy is. We're getting a lot of these no's. I mean, his stats are absolutely incredible, and he's been playing for Brentford for a long time. But we had Palace No and Shrew No. So I don't know what's happened with them pair. He's made his way in the shortlist. Maybe he got married to Palace No and he's changed his name. Maybe Shrewsbury Ripley has changed his name and been married to that Palace No guy. Because I can't actually find an actual Shrewsbury Ripley. So that actually could have happened, which is quite crazy. Well, anyways, let's get straight into it. The Ballon d'Or. Hopefully, within the ages of 30 to 35, they might have picked a few up. There we go. Luton Ripley won a second, with Plymouth Ripley also winning a second. And then Blades Ripley from Sheffield United getting in there with Plymouth Ripley second. Plymouth Ripley, we're going to crown him the winner, I think, Plymouth Ripley, because he's been in there and around there every year. More or less anyway. He's always in the top 3 until he actually won 2. So he's got 2 Ballon d'Ors. Although, shout out to Luton Ripley because he's won 2 as well. Let's have a look at the World Team of the Year though. Because how many of those are actually World Cup Dream Team? No, we'll want this one. So that is Forest's Ripley. Oh, sorry, did he stay there his whole time? We have a sick. Forest Ripley actually stayed at Forest his entire career. So he's gone on to be Forest's all-time best ever striker. But he's the only one that actually made it into the Team of the Year. Then we had Colchester Ripley with Blades Ripley and Barrow Ripley on the wings. Then we had Spurs Ripley with Man City Ripley obviously at left wing. Then we had Barrow Ripley again. I'm assuming that's Blades Ripley with Colchester Ripley. He's been getting in the World Team of the Year with a Saudi club, so that's pretty good. Man City Ripley, same sort of players. So Plymouth Ripley sort of fell off after 2039 then. Let's see, 2039, yeah, there is a bit of a drop-off. But, and then again, he did enter the latter stages of his career, so I didn't expect him to keep that level. But lastly, let's look at the Premier League Golden Boot. Who's been winning the Premier League Golden Boot over the last few years? all the Ripleys. Stanley's Ripley, which is Accrington. Forest Ripley getting it with 31 goals. I want to sort it by goals, actually. Have any of them broke a record? So Haaland's got 36, Shearer. Palace Ripley is the highest scorer so far with 33 goals for Tottenham in 2035. Then Forest Ripley got 31. We obviously saw that one. With Palace Ripley also getting 31. Then Shrewsbury, no, he got 31 year. Then we got Brighton Ripley, but no Plymouth Ripley though. But obviously he was playing on the wing for the majority of his career. Lastly, we'll just check Player of the Year. Plymouth Ripley getting 3. Yeah, he did. He finished on 3, Plymouth Ripley. And then we'll lastly quickly look at the Team of the Year as well, see if any of them have been dominating. Yeah, so the Ripley twins getting the striker positions again and again and again. None of them getting on the wing until City did in 2040. And then that's Swindon's Ripley. And Plymouth Ripley actually got moved to a striker towards the end of his career. He started playing back up front. He finished on 231 goals. And yeah, that is what happens when 92 twins enter the Football League. They did in fact take over football. The Ballon d'Or was constantly being won by these guys. Plymouth Ripley is definitely being crowned the winner. I think he was always in and around the top 3 for the Ballon d'Or, and then obviously he did win 2. But I want to give Luton Ripley and Man City Ripley sort of second place, because Luton Ripley did win 2 Ballon d'Ors, but Man City Ripley was always in there, and he was always in the Team of the Year as well. So I'm going to crown those 3 as the winners. So yeah, if you like the video, leave a like. Make sure to comment down below what you want to see next, and make sure to subscribe. As I said, we've got loads more content coming in the near future. We're posting roughly every 3 days. So yeah, take care.